I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host. My name is mine, and I hope you're doing fantastic. Hope everybody is doing fine. It is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. How great is our God, and how greatly to be praised. Indeed, the heavens declare his glory, and the firmaments show forth his handiworks. Yeah, big up. Oh, semi-mute. Who not hear me? You not hearing me, Sherman? Sherman say him not hearing me. People, tell me if you're hearing me. All right, Sherman say him not hear me. What I go on with the microphones? Microphone. Sherman, what you mean you're not hearing? Sherman, clean out the wax out of those ears of yours, Mr. Sherman. You understand me? Yeah. Blessings, man. Again, greetings and salutation, to every single one. Always good to be here with you. It's been a while. The quality kind of dropped in terms of the output from the channel because I was away at the Unity Cup, so I never had my equipment, but I was trying to make sure that I give you a little bit of information as I was there. But I'm back on the solid rock on the grounds of Jamrock, Jamaica, and Yemen. So, yep. So today, outside of the topic that we're going to be discussing, I want to give you an opportunity as well to call in And then some of you have questions about the Unity Cup. I would love to be able to take on some of those. And I know some persons, as usual, a squad has been dropped. So many persons are happy and many persons are unhappy because there's never going to be a squad selected in this present Jamaica that people don't have a problem with. It is bound to happen. All right. So you can call in at a point convenient to you. After the 30-minute mark, we take our phone calls. So after that point, you can call in and, we can have good, healthy, robust discussion. I do not want any abusive words or language on the channel. All right. So as best as possible, can you please refrain from taking your personal conflicts and disagreements with people to a point where it leads to disrespect. I don't tolerate it, and I will most graciously end the video prematurely if that is the pathway we are going down. All right. As usual, I ask you to do the regular things. If you're on the channel, this is your first time, I want you to go ahead and hit the like button, right? Fine. First thing, right? You hit the like button. The second thing I want you to do is to take time to subscribe. Subscribe to I Am Sure Sports. Yes, you want to make sure that you're a subscriber because that way, every time we put out a video, you will be one of the persons who gets notified about our video. So go ahead and do that. Thanks to everyone here. All right. Hulk Hogan said, when we get in the Gold Cup squad, you will get the Gold Cup squad, Hulk Hogan, after the 2 World Cup qualifiers. Because you don't want to name it now. A player gets injured and then bam. You understand me? Or a player doesn't perform, bam, and then so you have those little things. So I think it is in wisdom that the Gold Cup squad will be named at the end of the 2 World Cup qualifying games. Big up man like Brian Myton. All right, yeah man, it is a Mount Pleasant jersey that I'm sporting today. Big up to Mount Pleasant, one of the best run footballing academy in the island of Jamaica. And I will go as far and say across the Caribbean. Peter Gould and the rest of the team. Big up Duckland Stennett. Paul Watkins, good to see you. Jason. Yeah, Jason, truthfully, people, would you like to hear Jason calling? I would certainly like to hear Jason calling and give his thoughts and opinion on, whatever he wants to discuss. That would be interesting. Sherman Scott, big up. Jason Guna, big up yourself as well, Drew, a.k.a. Drew Fortis, up and running. Chris Roman, big up yourself. Yeah, Christopher Wright. Yeah, man, bless up every time. Who else is here? Any females in the chat? Not yet. Hold on. Who is this now? Yeah. Any females in the chat? Just say hello. No, you can't say hello. Just type hello. You understand me? Yeah. Both people, bossy soldier. Yo! People, you see the artists here? The artists here are big. Yo, the artists here are bad. Bossy soldier, big up yourself. You see the artists are people. I met him in London. A Jamaican. Yo, artist over there in London. I tell him that me have to interview him. But he was a big baller in Jamaica. In fact, he used to play for Cavaliers while in Jamaica. Tomlin. Kimado Tomlin is his current name, Yeah. Big artist. So if you go on YouTube, check out Bossy Soldier. Yeah. And don't listen, the man. Kimarlo Tomlin. See it here? Kimarlo Tomlin. Big baller. Anybody know the name? Big baller for Cavaliers. Who know the name? Which man used to follow the football? big baller. And remember this, and know this, he was an actual soldier. He was an actual soldier, but big artist. He have some big tune, on some track where even massacre. You understand me? Deal with it. Boss soldier, we have to link up, we have to go arrange for you do an interview and you drop a couple of the song. But if you want, call in right now and give the people the piece and the acapella, and make them know say, are you the real boss soldier? Yeah. What me say? No. Yeah, you understand me. But big up, it was a pleasure meeting you over there. I met so many good people. You understand me? He is one of the good people who we met over there. You understand me? He has a connection with Mr. Speed. And if you have seen this picture online, he's the bigger man in the picture. Let's put it that way. He's the bigger man in the picture. That one of the pictures that was posted on some social media and things. Big up, my brethren. It was a blessing. Appreciate the hospitality while over there. After also big up this other general, Byfield. Yeah, man. He's connected to Malik. Yeah, he's connected to Malik Mothersill. All right. And the young Byfield that is a top num. Yeah. And he plays at the England U17 is also his nephew. Named Byfield. Big. I met him over there and it was a pleasure meeting him as well. I also met the other soldier, not the soldier, the other soldier. Yeah, the other soldier. Soldier, where you there? Carlton Lovelace. Yo, that soldier is a very strange soldier. That soldier is a very strange soldier, But good person. You understand me? But he's an elderly person, But him operate like a young person. So you have to work. The people, they have to work with them. You understand me? Elder person, but young. But after big them up, man. Met some good people over there as well. You understand me? Elderly is an elderly man who's trying to have a very youthful mind and a youthful way of engaging. Bro, you see, but when I say Soldier Reggae Boys jersey, before 1996, may I tell you? So that's the Soldier jersey I come from. You understand me? Soldier, not both is Soldier, The other Soldier. Who is Soldier 54? Soldier is not no 54. Duckland, stop being dishonest. Do not tell any lie. Soldier did not tell you that. He did not tell you that. You told lie, Duckland. Two lie, Duckland. Soldier cannot be 54. Soldier, call in. Soldier, you are 54. If Soldier are 54, me are 16. Boss, this that's a good one, Paul. IT push, bless up. Mikey Body, bless up. Big up. Reggae Girls time. Yeah. Big up. You understand me? Paul Watkins, big up yourself. You understand me? Yeah, but we can't talk about that. We want to talk some football. Can't watch the Reggae Girls. You understand me at the same time. Yeah. Yep. You understand me? Hey, preacher, up. Hey, people, please listen, I am the acting man. I don't think that is what he said, Hear Omar, is a different, not this. So, all right. No, man, Soldier jersey is not the 1998 jersey, Soldier jersey is before the 1998 campaign started. Who can tell me what Brad Jamaica was wearing? Before the 1990 Soldier jersey that he wore to the first game was before the 1998 World Cup campaign started. So that campaign started like in 19 94. Yeah, because it qualified in 1997 and the World Cup was in 1998. So Soldier jersey I come from 1993, 1992. And an ordinary jersey that. Oh, so big up Soldier. Yeah, all right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Back in the days, you understand me, when Mikey Tolo and them man they are playing. You understand me? Anthony Corbett the captain. Them time that the jersey I come from. Me I tell you, big up Soldier, real general. Which Kappa man? What about Kappa? They don't know if Kappa was a company them time there. Yeah, Rajic Reed. Winston 20 Bug Anglin. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, man, but some good people. So people listen to the name and the thing is not it's not Badisman, man. It's not Badisman, is that? Yeah. Yeah. But we want to talk about changes are plenty. At the JFF Reggae Girls Tackle USA. Crucial qualifiers coming up for Jamaica. What do we need to qualify? Michael, Jim Dandy Graham, Paul Young, yeah. Mark Hagler, well, son. Yeah, man, them kind of jersey the Soldier wear, boss. Soldier no numb. Hey. Hey, all right. Me and Soldier bridge it up. We can do this to Soldier, you know. So Soldier have a very, very you know, him always talk about some footballers like him say Testes and Ranto and Dodo and you know some of the best footballers he have ever seen in his life. So there's a player from the team that is from that same community, same place, right? So Soldier knows the person very well, right? So the player was in the team and the player, you know, come from the era. So, you know, so Soldier know that the player made the squad up in England and thing. And so Soldier say, yeah, man, hey, boss, nobody worry yourself, you know, man. I go get you. Yo, you can't come out England and don't play, you know, something special. So they say, nah, man, what you talk about, man? You know, me know the ball game, right? Me know the ball game, and you're coming to England to play. I have to make sure that I get you something for you to play in. Don't even use your older boots. I am going to give you a boots to play the match in. So we were at the hotel. Tap da 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 na na da na na da na na da na na da na na. Soldier appears, and Soldier brings this beauty. Soldier brings this beauty for the player to wear for the game. Ta-ta-na, ta-na, ta-ta-da, ta-da-da, ta-ta-da. People, tell me what you think. Soldier brings this vintage classic from back in his days, a pair of cleats for the player in these modern times. I'm telling you, Soldier. Eagle Republic, 6 studs. 6 studs. Hey, boss, them have boots here. Stop wearing them. Me tell us a Soldier is an elder, you know, in a young. He's an elder with a young mind. You're right. But when he, yes, Paul Watkins, them there you call pegs. what the coach used to have, the big bag. And when it start to rain in the Costa Cup or Morning Cup, you would see them going to the locker room and they would get the big bag and them say, everybody grab a pair. And when you look on them, black some metal studs bars. Yeah, one big up soldier. You understand me? Yeah, man. I had to take a picture, man, of the great soldier. Yeah. All right. But let's move on to more important things. Changes are plenty at the JFF. As you know, I think a press release came out, and the press release really spoke to the fact that let me read it for you because yeah, I want to read the press release and then we can talk a little bit about that. And then you can, if you want, like I said, you can call in and in a respectful way, give your thought. It says, the Jamaica Football Federation is pleased to announce the appointment of Mr. Roy Simpson as acting general secretary effective immediately. So as you know, Mr. Dennis Chung resigned from the position. All right. He resigned from the position. So what that means is the position ends, like his official reign would have been in November of this year. That is when his time in office would have ended. So he has actually left with several months in place. So Mr. Roy Simpson will be acting until November when a new GenSec is supposed to be appointed. All right. No Eagle Republic, you have to repost it and then I can take it. No, I believe in terms of internally, I think Roy Simpson is the most appropriate person to lead this position. I think he is vastly experienced. At the press conferences, Mr. Simpson has served the Federation with distinction since 2008, right? So that's a lot of time. Has played a pivotal role in numerous national team milestones in the capacity as team general manager, including qualification of the Reggae Boys to the FIFA U17 World Cup in 2011. He was a team manager then. Runner-up finishes in CONCACAF Gold Cup 2015 and 2017. Caribbean Cup titles in 2010 and 2014. All right. That's a distinction, right? I wonder what management accomplished as team manager. Third in Nations League. Final in the Unity Cup. Yeah. Semi-final in Gold Cup. What management now going so bad, man? As team manager. Yeah, but yeah, so he has had some success. I think in terms of managers in the present time, he is the most successful team manager on the male side. If you go on the female side, you could look at Crystal Walters with the female team, who has managed the team in 2 World Cup qualification runs. So, but I believe that his wealth of knowledge, his vast experience, and just that he is a football person, and the football people know him in CONCACAF, in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, in North America, in Central America. He's known. He also has worked in capacity within CONCACAF at different times. Highly respected, and I don't think in terms of administrative functions and roles, it will, what Mr. Chung was doing will be affected. I think what you will see is as Mr. Chung has left like a foundation financially that Mr. Simpson, I think, will build on the relational side of the football in terms of the different stakeholders from all points. So kudos to him, and well done, well deserved. All right. All right, let me just take what Eagle Republic is saying, and then I'll get back to the rest of the press release. It says, management, I was making mention to the Rumgate scandal as a cultured elder, you need to school some of these young players about optics. The duty-free rum case no look good, bro. Okay? All right. Okay, I think this is the second time that I'm hearing this. All right. So I understand the optics, but I will say this. Many times when players travel, and I'm talking not just Jamaican players, but players from other teams, when we are in the airport, it's just that cameras don't catch these things. But a lot of times when you're going to duty-free place, they buy them. And what happens is that the luggages are already checked. All right. But I think it's something you can say to the player, listen, it don't look good. So if you're going to do it, try to make sure that you can put it in some other bag so it is concealed. But one thing I can say is that where the player is concerned, it was not for the player. And the player doesn't drink, the player doesn't smoke, right? All right. So I do agree that maybe it could have been hidden or could have been concealed. It's a good player. And I think if that is said to him, he will do it next time around. But it is not uncommon for players from all teams to buy duty-free items that are alcohol-based and bring them through the airport. It is not uncommon. It's just that it is not pictured on many occasions. But like I said, good youngster, a word of advice would not affect him. All right. But it wasn't for him. So yeah. So I don't know. Like maybe if I had family members who drink alcohol that I was going to meet, I could have been seen with it and it would have been the same thing. Like, how can a pastor be traveling with this? But because I don't drink, if I have an uncle that I haven't seen in 30 years and he says to me, listen, can you just bring a bottle of rum for me and I'm going to the airport? Would it be wrong if I did that? Or is it just not wise? Right? So that is where I am at, where that is concerned. All right. Yeah. So let me read the rest of the press release. It says, as part of the organization restructuring, not Omar Stennett, because I think some of you hear this and you think it's Stennett. It's not Stennett. Omar McFarlane, who currently serves as team ambassador for the U17 Reggae Boys, will now assume the role of acting general manager. President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Mr. Michael Ricketts, commented on the appointment. Mr. Simpson is an integral part of the federation, and I am confident that he will bring stability and leadership during what promises to be a demanding summer and the remainder of 2025. Omar is not Stennett. Omar is dependable, is a dependable professional whose commitment will serve us well in this new role. The JFF look forward to continued growth and success under the strengthened leadership team. So that is, so for those of you who don't know, I did an interview with Omar McFarlane on this because he was brought in to raise fund for the U17 team that was going to seek qualification to the U17 World Cup. So he was brought on board because it was supposed to be this massive fundraiser. Remember, and even here we launched this GoFundMe that we had given out, and people from this channel would have given funds to that. To help in terms of the U17 qualification run. All right, so he was brought on for that. Somewhere along the way, he was promoted as the ambassador for the team throughout that qualification process. All right, so he has been on a couple of, I think he was HOD with the senior team on one occasion. And so now he has been put in this position, which is general manager. And the general manager is the person who oversees all the the managers. So you have the under 17 girls, under 17 boys, under 15 boys, under 15 girls, under 20 boys, under 20 girls, senior boys, senior girls. So all these teams have managers. Sometimes you'll have like one manager that manages at the youth level. So like for me, I am the team manager for the senior men's team. All right. Not the under 17, not the under 15. All right. So that is my capacity and my function and role. And so this will be very interesting because like when I got in 2 years ago, because remember, this is now officially 2 years that I am there. Remember, I was only supposed to do 6 months. 6 months has turned into 1 year. Then after the year, it was supposed to be an additional 6 months. It has gone to 2 years. And yeah, so interesting times. I had club affiliation. I believe he also sits on the board at Cavaliers. You'd have seen in the qualifiers, the club championship, Caribbean Club, CONCACAF Club Championship. He was announced as part of the leadership structure at Cavaliers, at the Cavaliers Club. So yeah, that is affiliation. He actually has a son, Aiden McFarlane, who was part of the U17 team that failed to qualify. I think he got game in the last the last game that the team played. I think he may have played. Hey, Soldier, bless up yourself. You need to call it. Soldier, I was talking about you for around 10 minutes, you know. Yeah, so call in, Soldier, man. Yeah, I just got a text message and say, and I agree with this, you know. It says, any position for our beloved Kerry James, I know he will serve well. You know, I really believe that this is a good person for the football. Like more than just a loyal fan. So as a team manager, there are many times when we are in cities and places, and almost every time Kerry is there, Kerry James. And if Kerry James is there and any sort of movement where what they call the sprinter, so the sprinter, like for major tournaments, you get like a coach, a big bus, you get like an equipment truck, and then you get like what they call a sprinter, something to move you around. So if for any reason, like I need to move around and the sprinter is not there, then I mean, Kerry's always there. And I mean, he volunteers his time, having bought his tickets, he pays for his own hotel. You know, he never comes, he never sponges on people. He never come to the hotel and say, can I have some food? You have a spare room. I've never, let me say this, people. Kerry James is one of the fans I've never yet here turn up and ask for a ticket or a jersey. I kid you not. Who is this?
Yes, my boss. Wagwan.
Wagwan, man. Great Soldier.
Well, yeah, man. Yeah, my boss, you know.
Oh, geez, Soldier. How you get to that now? Oh, me and your boss.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah. Come on, no, man. You're a good man. Why? As a team manager, I have to give credit to me see you organized thing, and everything was perfect with the guys them in England. You do a great job, man, you and your team.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Congratulations, man. You do a great job with the team.
Yeah, man.
You and your team, because everything was perfectly organized. Nobody can come and say anything your team have a slip up or anything like that. You do a very great job. And I applaud you and your team.
Yeah, man, respect, man. And it was good. It was good meeting you like officially, man. And you're a good person, man. I was telling the people that you.
Yeah, man.
I was telling the people about the killer boots that you bought for the player, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's what brand?
Yeah.
The boots that you bought.
Adidas.
What it name? You know what it name?
Me don't know it name, you know.
Oh,
I don't know anything at all. But me know Adidas, you know.
is that?
Them tell me they want them want, I just get it.
So him tell you he want Adidas and you just buy Adidas.
Yes, yeah, and tell me the style, and me go and get the style.
And him tell you he want a pegs, a 6 studs.
Right.
And
Right, and all right, and yeah.
Nah, man, another man tell you that, man.
Why me saying him tell me that?
No, it's a soldier. Them a ball and tell us they want on 6 studs. Metal studs to come play a Jamaica soldier. A metal studs that you know.
Yeah, man, you know that the man in tell me say they want, man, and me buy it.
Oh, all right then, boss.
When him say they want, you know, and I get it, yeah, because what? 150 pounds me pay for it.
What?
100.
100. Hold on there.
150 pounds.
Soldier. Hold on there, soldier, man. Soldier. If me get the
you will see them there, no. You will see them there, no.
Soldier. If me 150. How much for the pound, you know? Times 190.
I said 200 if I MoneyGram.
200? What are they?
Yeah, 200 MoneyGram.
200 MoneyGram. 30,000 soldier.
Yeah.
Soldier. We could have buy two. Nice boots.
Well,
with a $30,000 soldier.
I believe you.
Yeah, the general still.
Mm.
Yeah, man, you're Rasta Virgin wear Oxford United shirt. So I never know say Oxford United they support the soldier.
No. We farm down the so farm down in Oxford. So we support the team because local team. So I have to support them. Manchester my team, but I have to support the local team too.
Okay. So talk to the people about the game and the atmosphere, no, man.
Well, the atmosphere was good. The team. Why I wish the guys then could play like how them play in England. Like when they come Jamaica, they play same way. Because I tell you, then surprise me if the Nigerian people them and sit down beside them say, boy, this Jamaican team will go very far. But I may say again, me have to give you credit or you organize everything with Blacker and the rest of guys, them team and them. Everything you organize it was perfect, 100%. Everything spot on. I give you credit. As a manager, you do a great job. Everything was organized. Not slip up, everything on the ground, everything was perfect, everything perfect. Everything was perfect. And I appreciate all the youth them play because they never lost the game. The game go by penalty. When they go penalty, any man can win. So they draw 2-2 with Nigeria. And I tell you, the guy, they play very well. Both games they play well.
Yeah,
so,
man. And the people in England, man, they really love the Jamaica team, man.
Yes, man. When I look and see people in 70-year-old lady and man coming to the game in Jamaican color, I was feel so proud. Like I want to cry. I say, I can't believe. I say, Mommy and Dad, I'm proud to see you coming out, come watch. That's all I want to see Jamaican people. Because I tell us, if the atmosphere can be like this in Jamaica for the guys, them, it will be perfect. Because I tell you, the people in England come out and support the guys, them at 150%, all out.
Yeah.
All out. Yeah. And Spice, big up yourself anyway you're there, Spice, because boy, you are just jumping real hard, Spice. Anyway, you're there. I think it's Spice credit.
So, somebody tell me that you are 54.
Yeah?
Somebody tell me that you tell them that you are 54. I'm saying, no. Soldier is not 54. Soldier is older than that.
I'm not 54. I'm more than 54, but not 54.
You just tell him that again. Okay, come and say, yeah. Cause not that you could be my father, but you look like you're more mature than that. You understand me? But you keep as a mature person still, you look like big people. So you big and tall, you know, man. You man big and taller. Taller than Captain Burrell, you know, man. I'm big, you know, man. If you say soldier, you know, you don't think you're Captain Burrell people. May I tell you?
Yeah, man. Man asked me if Captain and my father. Me and used to take pictures and go together. They accept him if I'm son, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, they said last year you were 54, so you are 55 now.
Oh. No man, I'm 55 now. I'm 56 now.
Oh, you're 56.
Yeah.
Told you one thing with you. You always make me laugh. You know, I'll meet that. You meet Kerry.
Who?
You met Kerry.
Who's on here, Kerry?
CJ14, man.
Yeah, man. Then know me. I remember me meet everybody, man. Every drop, man. Me meet, you know. Everybody me meet, you know, man. Is man.
Yeah.
Kerry, I pure laughing with you, laugh, man. Everybody we meet, man.
Okay.
And that's why you keep up your work and continue. And because boy, you do a great job, man. Yeah. All the doubters, them when they did at Jamaica, may I tell you this, man, as a manager, we need about 2-3 more men like him. I only look at the younger set of man, them can take a leaf out of your book and see how you organize things. That things run perfectly. No player can say, oh, what happened this? Everything is there before the man. Everything in order. I give you a lot of respect. I watch you where you move. I watch how you and your team, how you organize your team, and everything runs very smooth and great. The president supposed to proud of the job where you do. Sorry, kids, big up yourself and way.
Yeah, man. All right, big up yourself, Soldier. I appreciate it.
They're going to work out in they're going to work out in a gym. So we talk to them a little more.
Yeah, man. All right, boss.
All right. Bless up yourself, my boss.
Yeah, man.
And Jamaica will go now. Go and support the guys them on the 10th. Go out and make we support them more than how we support in England, because the England support was lovely. No, everybody cheer and everybody's gonna stop boo the ball of them and them thing there. England, we don't do that in England. Everybody cheer for them and them, because Jamaica, we say, no matter who is out there playing, they are playing for the country. Support them.
True.
Support them and support the team staff. Don't matter what happened, support them. When a person do something and make a mistake, don't go slap them. They will get better. You cannot put them down. Go out and clap them and cheer them on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, big up yourself.
I mean, I tell you, yeah, man. Okay, I not say something there on YouTube of them.
Go ahead, yeah, man. The other YouTuber them.
To YouTuber them, to the rest of YouTuber them, I want to come and support management when going and because management perform a A-class performance in England with the Jamaica team. Nobody can pass nobody remarks in Jamaica now to open the whole on the day and rally around the man them and the team. The man them is great and doing a great job. So I want to the YouTubers just come and support the man them and do not curse a man when they're down. Only lift them up and cheer them on. They will do better next time. So, all right, good luck in the World Cup qualify them here, sir.
Yeah, man, all right then.
If we can get a ticket to come down at 10, we come down. Go watch your match at 10.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, man, best up Soldier. All right, big up. That was Soldier for you right there. Yeah, man, good person. Understand me. Good soldier in the army. Yeah, man. All right, so those are performed but could not. Who's ever couldn't score a goal? We are set up some joke we have for beside, man. Some people, may I tell you, I know some of them are Jamaican money with the ball game, you know. Because like the man them just want to run up. I guess them never play at the high level. You understand me? The man them want to run up all over the field. You just give like this whole scrimmage thing, like, and that is why the overseas base staff won the game, you know. Them just knock the ball. So the man them start, everybody start ball for the ball. So me just start shift and pile because like a hold on pan ball thing. That is not the right way. Yeah. May I tell you, get pass the ball, man. Pass the man like a ball shark, like a back in the days people say, they man move like a harbor shark. Like have you had the ball? Yo, pass the ball. The star from the UK, you never heard any of them say, hey, pass. They just say, man, I'm telling you, man. But, so, it is the best that is home and away, you know. So we're going to take them on a Jamaica, on our surface, because for them surface too good. We have to play them on our surface that bad that we used to, so we can beat them, so we can whoop them. So you will see the return leg at the office, man's man, and the local staff, all stars versus the UK based staff. Good team building. No, you know what? That's why the first game was null and void because Simon played on the UK based staff and his change of association was not done and he had not gotten his citizenship and his passport. You understand me? Yeah. So we had to so for the second game though, his documentation were processed. And so they won the appeal and he was able to play in the second game, but he played on the UK base side. But no worry yourself, I'm going to knock him in the next game. Make him know say him sell out. You understand me? Big up Simon Preston. Yeah. All right. Reggae Girls Tackle USA, and I know this is the issue that a lot of people, you know, on the lips of everyone, just the fact that where is the coach and stuff, and why isn't he there? And then Dean Burton, who was in England and flew over to this game, why is Dean Burton there and Xavier Gilbert? I think that is the secondary matter. I think the primary matter is the head coach, especially because it just don't feel like this is the best way for the team if we are preparing for a World Cup campaign. So whatever the issues are, they must be resolved before the team gets to England. I suspect because the coach has been to England that he's going to be in England, but there is no pathway in CONCACAF for a team to be good and building if a coach can't be in the USA. Like, there has to be a person in place that is able to be in the USA, especially for women's football. All right? The Caribbean Club Jaw, let me just put this in. It's not on the thumbnail, but let me just, on the description. So let me just say this to you, right? So the Caribbean Cup draw has been made. Group A has Mount Pleasant, Robin Wood of Suriname, O&M FC of Dominica, and Central FC of Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, let me just I'm going to share this with you, right? Let me share this with you so you can see it. So the draw has been made. So let's share this with you. Where we go? Let me see if I can find it. So many stuff to go through. So I want you to see the Caribbean Cup draw just took place. For those of you who may have missed it because of the show. Yeah, I think there. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Just gonna go through this quickly. There we go. So Mount Pleasant, are you able to see it? Let me bring it up a little bit more and remove this off the screen so you can have good. Hope that is better. So Mount Pleasant, SV Robin Hood of Suriname, Dominica Republic, O&M FC, Central FC, and then the Club Shield champions, right? So Arnett Gardens will be in the Club Shield. So if they win, they will be in Mount Pleasant's group. If they lose, they will be if they lose when it gets to the final, of course, they will end up in the group that has Cavaliers. In that Cavaliers group, they have Ciboa FC of Dominica, Cavaliers of Jamaica, Defense Force of Trinidad and Tobago, Juventus de Caes of Haiti, and the Club Shield runners-up. Two competitive group. Yeah. Two competitive group, and so yeah. So CC, I would want to assume that given the fact that this is the second occasion in the US and he's not there, there is an issue with him entering the USA. Whatever is the cause of that, it needs to be resolved at the highest level, because there, like I said, that I don't think there's a pathway for women's football in the region of CONCACAF without traversing the United States of America. It's a critical place in the football business. Critical. All right. Two crucial qualifiers that Jamaica need to win, both of them, to be seeded high in the final stage. Because if you win these two and you're seeded high, you would get what you call lower ranked teams in the final round, which means that your pathway to qualification in a home and away series of game becomes a whole lot easier. All right, so have to beat BVI first and then beat Guatemala here in Jamaica. Right now, Guatemala, they have a tough fixtures because they have to win their game before they play Jamaica. I believe they play against the Dominican Republic. That will not be an easy tie for them. They could lose that. But either way, what Jamaica needs to do is to win both games. Now, what are your thoughts on the players? I believe that the squad named by the coach is good enough to win both games. You know, could there have been other names possibly? Could other persons have been included? Yes, could be. But I think in the squad itself, the present squad, I believe is good enough to win both games comfortably. And fans should come out to watch the game in Jamaica. Now, again, teams are selected and you'll never get all the people. All right? Yeah. You'll never get all the people who you want in a team. Because somebody is going to say that this player should have been in and all of that. So just understand that. All right? So what do you say, Omar Fowling? Call in and give your thoughts. Why? My opinion is not the be all and end all. Give your opinion and let people choose between their opinion, your opinion, and my opinion. That's it. All right. Dre, Anyway, that's sports. What's going on? Welcome to the show. Sound like in some heavy rain.
Yeah, man, be rain fall in South Carolina. So excuse me to chip in and out because of the weather and the signal go in and out. But today I drive still. But now the Chinese still, man. Good job you had so far. Really appreciate how you hold it down and you represent for yourself and represent for the YouTube space and represent well, and you make us all proud as YouTubers. So big up yourself and much respect for what you do for the Reggae Boys and for the country and Jamaican football. Big up yourself. I hope you continue doing it until World Cup.
Bless up yourself.
Until World Cup, all right? And beyond. So hope you continue doing it until World Cup.
Bless up yourself in the rain. Dre, Anyway, that's sports. One view.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what are your thoughts on the squad?
So me didn't name my squad like the day before, not knowing anything on the inside, no source or nothing like that. Just name a squad after what I say from the Unity Cup and the players them that I expect to come in. So where I got it wrong, amongst others, was expecting that Ethan Pinnock would have been there. That's one of the glaring, we call it, omissions. That's not in the squad. The coach did explain, from my understanding, it explains Pinnock for personal reasons. You know, that could have been a number of things. But I believe at the center position, we have strong enough players who can hold it down while Ethan Pinnock not in the team. Especially with the emergence and the improvement that Richard King has shown over the last couple of windows and coming out for the Unity Cup too.
Yeah.
The next glaring omission was Bobby Reid. That was a toss-up because, you know, I'm coming back from injury, never played last games of the season. So I had Bobby Reid in the squad, given that, you know, the squad have a name and him have enough experience with the team. It's not a new player coming in, and I believe that it would have been fit enough to play versus EVI and Guatemala. But he's not fit enough, but them pushing look like he's going to be ready for the Gold Cup. And of course, I named Lord Ravel, the maestro, the general in the midfield. Of course, my name him, get some backlash for naming Ravel in the team over DJ, but that's another show, another story. But we couldn't leave out the maestro to the team. Big up Ravel anyway. The Jamaica team need him. And with a need, you had the Gold Cup too, but you know, the coach made the decision and we just have to stick with it. He'll be missing for the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
So also Mother Seal. I had expected Mother Seal, but the explanation with the coach gave, oh, by the way, Mother Seal cap tied now with that one cap, you know, 21 and over, one cap. Cap tied for the Reggae Boys. Jamaica for life. All right.
Yeah, all
so,
right.
yeah, Mother Seal. So Mother Seal now, me have him in my team. So, despite being a cameo performance when given, but the coach did explain that it wasn't supposed to be a part of the plans and a part of the squad because documentation wasn't approved by the time the coach had named the squad, the Unity Cup squad. So, and then he had plans to be on vacation and holiday, you know, after a long season. He had plans which was understandable. So, but in training with the team, coach like what I'm saying, and you know, the player agreed to be a part of the team for the last game, and surprisingly give him a run out on the field. It wasn't part of the plan, and it never disappointed really. Just that, you know, we're just gonna get more of him when it comes to the Gold Cup, and we're looking forward to that, Jamaican fans.
Yeah. You know, actually, like
that's it.
I think like the Mother Seal thing, it was like by chance, hey, we're trading. You know what? Yeah, I'm actually like to fly out, say like in a few hours, let me come and do the session. Come and do the session, bam. How do you feel? Hey man, I love this. Okay, would you like to stay? All right, let me just stay. So that it was under those circumstances, but there was a vacation, you know, in place. You understand?
Yeah, planned already.
Yeah. So sometimes I understand, like, you know, people's you know, disgruntlement, because people, you have a right to feel how you feel, but oftentimes there are more things behind it as well. And you have to also have, like, the closer you are, I would say, to things, it is the better you get to deal with it. Like Bobby Reid would not have been available. Yeah, would not have been, because Bobby Reid has not kicked any football since his injury. So whatever work he's doing is not like football work. Is almost like strength and conditioning, given the procedure that he did. So he would still need time to start playing football. You understand me? So I kind of figured that he would not have been ready for these two games, but because the Gold Cup begins for Jamaica on the 16th, that gives him a few more weeks. You know, and that is not even a guarantee, because, you know, injuries are, you could be 2 days before the time when you're supposed to go back out, and guess what happened? Something else pops up, something else happens, and you have a setback. So it is, just there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this player Tyrese Campbell went off to the national team, to the senior team, because we see when he do it at Charlton on a consistent basis. So I'm very excited. The Jamaican fan base should be excited about the player too. Very energetic, skillful on the ball, fast dribbler, score goals. So, it's just we want to see how the coach using him, because
but he's
the position.
He's a winger, right?
Yeah, and he plays on the position of one of our favorites.
Cephas or Bailey?
Come on, man. Well, right now, Cephas are the fan favorite because Cephas is on fire. But you know who are the poster boy? Although enough people now admit it, but him carry the torch.
So what you're saying,
so
no, you have...
he play on the right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He play on the right.
But so Cephas plays on the left, though.
Yeah. So we are gonna figure out how to play Cephas, Bailey, Campbell, and Damari Gray in the team at the same time. That's a tricky and that's a good thing to have as a head coach, because the fall off between them is not gonna be that far. So that's a good headache to have by the head coach still.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
All right. How Knockins doing? I notice I'm not seeing a lot from Knockins,
Oh, me and that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you have to ask Knockins, man. I collaborate with Knockins on the IG. Remember something over YouTube, Remember some barely over YouTube. Like 1 or 2 video a week I drop over YouTube. Over IG me there. But I collaborate with Knockins enough time on the IG.
All right, boss. I just don't know if I'm good enough because I not see him from this whole lot. People, don't make no lawsuit stopping him from talking on mine.
Call him, man. Call him, see if him answer, ask him when think about the squad and them thing.
Yeah,
we
man.
answer him in a couple group them and thing, man.
All right then, good sir.
Yeah.
All right, big up yourself.
Big up on yourself.
Yeah, man.
Man, keep doing your thing, man. Much respect.
No more.
Love it.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, man. That was Dre Any Weather Sport. Make sure you check him out over on the Insta. Him same there. How can we play 3 players who do not defend at the same time? All right. Omar Fowling. Call and give in your thoughts, no, man. Why you say I wouldn't say anything different. Dre gave his opinion. All you have to do is just give yours. Why you question what the man said? Just call in and give your opinion. And then here's the question that I'm asking today. What do we need to qualify? If there is a tangible or intangible that you think series of things or individual things the team needs to qualify, what would those things be? What is hindering our qualification? What do you believe are the things that are hindering? What are the things that you think could propel us into World Cup qualification? CC, yes, it is a call-in show, so you can call in and give your opinion. All right. Eagle Republic, you are right. So it would have to be the club's medical team that says, yeah, you're cleared to play. And that's what I'm saying. But I will say that this whole Unity Cup thing has sparked the interest of many players who are of Jamaican heritage. And I think that's one of the big things. The turnout of fans really, I think, impacted many players with Jamaican heritage. And I suspect that what we're going to see is a lot of these players coming to Jamaica to get their documentation done. So this whole idea of doing it from England is proven to be too lengthy. So I think like in the off season now, you're going to see, I would not be surprised if by the summer, we have at least 4 players, whether they are seen or known by the coaches, coming to Jamaica to sort out their paperwork. I would not be surprised. Yeah. There is going to be Unity Cup next year, but I think they want to do it. I think they want to do it in the States. And I think they want to do it in the States because the World Cup is going to be there. But I think like the Unity Cup should be for England and keep something else in the States. I just think like this should be something for England. UK-based players that not included in either Unity Cup or World Cup squad. Do you know if it's because of no paper? I don't, because I can't answer that, Tuffy Rudy, because I don't know. I don't know, because sometimes people say this player have this player doing that, and it is the furthest thing from the truth. So I don't know who you speak of, what you speak of, because a lot of times, a lot of the information out here in YouTube is not the most accurate. You understand me? It's not the most accurate. Oh, nobody now giving an update. Oh, Reggae Girls versus USA going. Yeah? Oh, 7 o'clock now. Yeah. Yeah. You know that the interview I did with Garol Hamilton, him having big book launch, coming up down there in South. Yeah. Maybe we can do the Unity Cup and make England an invitee. That's it. Sanjay Brooks. All right. So let's talk about that. Sanjay Brooks. Like the thought, but let's talk about it a little bit. All right. What if you're trying to amalgamate or integrate the descendants of slaves, right, with the place that their foreparents were brought from? How would England fit into that mix? That's a question I'd ask Sanjay Brooks. I have to ask a big up Chef Wisdom. Chef Wisdom, big up yourself, Chef Wisdom is one of the other real soldier them. A man we know from Mannings, but real soldier them over there. Big up yourself. Chef Wisdom, all right? Also, more big up Hulk. Yeah, man, Hulk did the game. Yeah, me have to big him up too. All right, you see that Jamaican restaurant there down a Southwest London there, so when you Yasso, we sell them dumpling there. Yo, the bad. Not when Jamaica never eat dumpling so nice yet. Me I tell you. Me don't know what the man them put in the dumpling, but the dumpling them bad. Big up the thing there. All right. But there's a company called God Given Talent. Big up God Given Talent as well. They make some caps, bad. But God-given talent. You understand me? I have to big them up. Love the stuff that they do. Humble. And I'm going to try and get the proprietor of the company on the platform to talk about it. I think it's a good brand. Yeah, man. I believe so. I refer Morris. I think his process though is from my understanding is more so started over there, so most of it will be finished over there, and I can understand that. But I think those who had not started, because I was able to engage a couple of persons, and that is their plan. That is their plan. So come probably September and beyond, you could see just more and more players available. Of course, selection is always with the head coach of the team, and he should be doing that. This lucky. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am management. You're live on here.
Good afternoon, man.
Yes, welcome to the show. You're live on here now. You're calling for the show?
Yeah, man, I'm aware.
All right, big up yourself.
Yeah, man, I'm calling again, and thank you for taking my call, and appreciate the contribution that you're doing, or that you're contributing to nation's football development, right?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
All right.
And I will, let me just say this, right? Honestly, From the beginning, if it weren't for the people on YouTube, I would not do it. And after the 6 months when I wanted to stop, it was YouTube people on the platform who kind of said, no, just give it a longer go. After the next 6 months, after a year, when I wanted to stop, it was the said people. 18 months, it was the people who said no, and the encouragement and thing. So I appreciate the people as well, and I do it because not just the football team, but also the people who always encourage and say, listen, we need people on the inside that can help to make a difference. So appreciate the words of encouragement. You can go ahead.
Yeah, man, no problem. Thanks, man. Listen. All right, one is one. As you know, human beings have unlimited wants. That's just the reality of things. And generally speaking, no two human beings are the same, even identical twins. There are differences that exist. Now, having said that, squad selection will always remain a contentious issue regardless of whatever squad is selected and so on and so forth. Nevertheless, I think as with any properly functioning organization or processes, there are standards that are set that generally guides how things are done, right? Now, having listened to this squad selection today, I must say that there are certain things that, you know, it leaves a lot to be desired, and it raises certain questions, certainly, right? Now, having said that, hello?
Yeah, no man, I'm listening. Sorry about that. Right? Remember
Okay.
you talk. I don't want to interrupt you, and I want to
that's-
make sure. Yeah.
No, man, that's fine. That's fine. I don't think you were still there. No, I'm saying, having said that, now, when you see a squad come out and certain players are selected, it is interesting. It is interesting to see who is selected and who is not, and what it is exactly that is guiding this selection process. Now, I don't necessarily like to call certain players because no players select themselves generally. At least I would hope not. In terms of literally putting their names on a list. Outside of your performances, I would imagine that is what would allow you to select. Now, the coach said something last week to say that, he has selected Ravel because of the type of league that he's playing him, and there's no access to see the footballer's performance or lot thereof, or the general quality. And then a couple months ago, he said it doesn't matter where you're playing. Once you're playing and you're playing well, then you'll be selected. So he's kind of creating a lot of confusion with some of the things that he's saying. So when I see some players being selected and others not being selected, it raises a question. For example, I'll give you an example. Now, Trevante Stewart, we banished him from the last time that he was here, it seems as though we have forgotten him. And the reality is that he's performing well, and he's performing well in Europe at one of the top league in that particular country. But we're selecting persons at third division as forward, and we're not giving him a chance. And I don't get it. And when questions are being asked of the coach, to be honest, anyone can tell that this man is not being very, very forthcoming. He dances around the questions without answering them. And if you pay attention, he says a lot without saying. He says a lot with his words without actually saying anything at all in terms of answering the questions. Because, for example, I was looking forward to seeing Manasil, and I heard what he said, but before I go any further, the game that he played in the UK, is he now kept tied to Jamaica? That's the first thing I want to know. Is he kept tied? Yes or no?
No, he's not kept tied.
Exactly. And then this is the problem that we have. If, let us say, like a week from now or whenever is the next international window, for whatever reason, England sees him and says that, okay, we're going to call him up, and we call him up, and then he goes, then we're going to say, oh, the English rejects are, they might use Jamaica and all of that when we have an opportunity here to play players, and we're not playing them. We're not playing them. When I look at the what you call it, when I look at the sheet, the call-up list, we have a bag of forwards, a bag of defenders, and then there's no one in the middle. There's very little midfielders, you know, and it is very frustrating. And the reality is that we are calling persons, we're asking them to look about their citizenship, and we're not applying principles in terms of selecting players and selecting players who are on form, you know. And as much as Sir Speed said that, you know, there's no quota in the national team. If you follow it and you use your head, you realize that there's actually a soft quota. There's actually a soft quota. It's not in writing like with the other teams, but there is a soft quota. And if it is we're gonna carry players and we know that chances are we're not gonna use them, what's the sense in carrying 5 players if we know for sure that we're not gonna use them? We're just having them for sure rather than having players who can actually impact a game. So I don't know, it's very frustrating, and at this point, man, I can tell you, a lot of persons at my workplace and a lot of persons who I talk to, they are becoming very frustrated with the Jamaica program, and it is becoming increasingly, increasingly seems as though we're really and truly not gonna make the next World Cup, because the selection process just does not seem to be consistent with any particular principles that guide the overall selection of players who are going to actually impact a game in a positive way, and it's very frustrating.
All right, so let me say a couple of things based on what you said, because you said that there is a soft quota. My first question.
There's a soft quota.
All right, so I did not interrupt you. I allowed you to speak.
No, just affirming what you're saying.
No. So yeah, I did not interrupt you. I allowed you to speak to the point where you even had to ask if I was still here. All right. So you say that there is a soft quota. Are you speaking to the senior team? That's my question.
Yes, I am.
All right. So give me, when you have said that, I want you to give me the reasons why, based on the selection, not for our friendly games, not for friendly games, based on our selection for official games, give me examples where you have seen the soft quota being applied.
Sorry, repeat the question.
I want you to point me to where you have evidence from your perspective of a soft quota being applied to the senior team for official games.
For official games?
Yeah, give me one. Give me a couple of examples. So let's start with this squad.
All right.
You believe
all right,
that
all right, no problem.
Do you believe that this squad is a soft quota being applied with this squad?
Yes, I do. I believe right across the board.
No.
All right, so let me answer your question.
Let me finish. So this squad has 3 players that plays in Jamaica. 3. Richard King. Well, no, 4. Richard King.
Sure.
Kyle Ming, Dwayne Atkinson, and Shaquan Davis. All right.
Warner Brown.
Warner Brown, yeah, 5. All right. Warner Brown. All right. So,
yes.
Of these, which other squad has Dwayne Atkinson? Official game has Dwayne Atkinson. Yeah, man, I get it. 5 players. Dwayne Atkinson have been selected to. 1, that's one of my questions. 2, hasn't Richard King and Shaquan Davis always been a part of the team? And are you saying that they should not be in the team? So Right? So I want to hear the question. One, which other squad has Richard King been named to? Shaquan Davis and Richard King are the two most consistent players of the 5. Should they have not been in those squads that were selected, including this one? All right. So I'll start with those 2 questions.
All right, no problem. Thank you for your question, man. Inspired. Give me the opportunity to answer it. Firstly, I have no problem in terms of I've watched the players play, and I don't mind when I watch a player play. When I watch a player plays and I see the quality, I have no problem where it plays. I have no problem with how Richard King play. I actually like the way he plays, right? When it comes on to Warner Brown, I think Warner Brown has something in him. So again, I have no problem with how he plays. Now, as it relates to Shaquan Davis, in terms of his inclusion, he's kind of neither here nor there for me, because he's most persons would say that he is. Chances are he's not gonna play. He's seen as the third choice, right? Now, in the past, I have no problem with several of those persons who were selected, right? Now, in the past, I'll give you an example. When Adrian Reed was included in the squad, the coach indicated that, we have great players here. I like them. I like the way they play, so on and so forth. He said he's young, but I love the way that he plays, so on and so forth. All right. Now, he brought in Adrian in the squad. And that's fine. Okay, no problem, because I think he was coming out for the under 20 and so on and so forth. But then Adrian Reed did not play any game. All right, fine. Now, after the game that he was called up for, he didn't play. Then we had a local camp. Adrian Reed was not injured at the time. He was very much available, and they called up a domestic-based squad. And obviously, entirely players who play here in Jamaica. Adrian Reed was not called up, and he was not injured, and he was played for Cavalier. Now, consistently, almost every window, you have 4 or 5 players being called up. And again, I'm not saying they should not be called up, but there are 4 or 5 players being called up. And the majority of the time, the only person who plays generally is King, which again, I have no problem with King. I think I love his temperament, and I think he has a relatively high ceiling. I think there's a lot more that he can learn. But consistently, when we have international windows, we call players and we generally don't use them for the most part.
For example,
with Adrian Reed, how can you say he's a great talent?
I have to interrupt.
He's a great talent.
I have to interrupt you. I have to interrupt you because I've given you've gone like 13 minutes and I've probably spoken for 2. So I have to interrupt. All right. So,
okay, go ahead.
So I can go through national teams and club teams that players are in squad on multiple occasions and never get a chance to play. But they are there because you need to have players. It's important that you have, because you never know. A game may not require you to put a player on the field. Right? You play a game and you may not need the player. It may not mean that 3 games down the road, you still may not need him. You could need him at that point. So I don't see an issue if a player is selected. Jonathan Russell, for example, was selected for many games and he never played. Kanaya Boyce Clark has been selected for many games and he has not played. Deshaun Bernard was going through a period when he was selected for many games and he wasn't playing. Richard King has been selected for many games and wasn't playing. So I'm going to put this to you. There was a time, and this is why when it comes down to the national team, Brandon Cover was in the team and he never played. Because those things are coaches' decisions, and in the moment, it doesn't mean that the player was not good enough to go on the field. The coach just may not have used the player. This idea that if This idea that, okay, well, the coach call you, you're on the bench and the coach call you. Oh, you are not good then, because if you were good, you would play. All 23 players in a squad will never play in a game because you can only use 16 according to the rules. You're not going to use a third string goalkeeper. Like I said, it's neither here nor there. Now, what we need to argue is, should King be in the team? And if you're going to say King should not be in the Jamaica team, then we can argue, which is your opinion versus mine.
I cannot say that.
No, that's
I cannot say that.
So what I'm saying though, then if King is in the team, then we cannot make the argument with King in the team as part of a count for quota if we think he's in there on merit. The only way that quota argument, if King is in the team and you say that Warner Brown is a good prospect, if they're in the team with Shaq1, who is not here nor there for you, to then use a quota argument is really like impractical, because you're saying on merit, King deserves to be there. Warner Brown, you believe is a prospect. He can be there. Shaq1 is neither here nor there. He's a third string, and in official games, he made that play. Then to say, okay, it must be quota. Why we have 5? It's not, because leading up to this, I can go back to games, consecutive game, when the only 2 players, domestic players in the team were Richard King and Shaq1 Davis. And King was not playing. Was quota being applied then? And this is not far ago. This is in last year. So that is the argument. The argument is, if we're saying that because people can say, okay, they are better players. So let's go through that. Give me a right back that you believe that could be in the team over Kyle Ming right now.
Right back?
Yeah, give me a right back. Which right back would you say?
Overall?
No. I'm talking
domestically.
No, man. This is a squad that has been selected. Give me a right back right now that is in the team that you think like this right back should be in the team over Kyle Ming.
Overall, you're saying are
no, it's just your opinion. You can pick the person from wherever. It's up to you.
Right back.
Yeah.
Well, some persons are advocating for.
No, I don't want to hear what people are advocating for, because you are making an argument about quota. Because so what we have to clearly distinguish.
No, and I'm saying one could make an argument for Alvas Powell.
No, what I'm saying, no man, not one. What I'm saying is that you made the argument. So what we have to do is to say that this man in the team is not in the team based on merit. So he's not based on merit because these players are way ahead of him and they should be in the team. So the only reason why Kyle Ming is selected is because there's a quota principle being applied. That is the point we have to get to, because we are trying to figure out how your quota argument is justified. All right. So you believe on present form, Alvas Powell should be in the team. Let me say to you. All right, when Jamaica was in, and of course, I cannot give you numbers, but Alvas Powell last involvement in the national team got to the point where even there is a YouTuber that had major altercation, verbal altercation online, because I would say majority of the people felt like the predominant issue in that campaign was the 2 games where Javane Brown came off and Alvas Powell came on. And when he came on, unfortunately, Jamaica conceded. People complained and said that he should never wear, many people, he should never ever wear the Jamaican jersey ever again. That these players need to be removed. From Javon East, Alvas Powell, Haka, Damon Lowe was in that, Fisher was in that, Speedy was in that, Junior Fleming was in that. It was a massive campaign. I find, hold on, let me just finish. I find that now that we want to justify a quota argument, we make it with players that many of us would have said should never wear the national colors. All right? That's my number one point. Number two, I agree with you. I agree with you that based on his present form, playing not as a right back for Cincinnati for the last 2 seasons on merit, I agree when people say the past must be forgiven, whatever people thought of him, and he could be looked in. So he's in the 60-man Gold Cup squad. And I think it is because of his form that got him in there. But could it be, my friend, that it is the very people on YouTube, by the way they have dealt with someone, including Junior Fleming? So we act like we were happy about these guys. People were willing to go up to the JFF office with placards. There was planned movement into our national stadium, boycotting of games to get rid of these players, saying, people telling them about their mother online, them woman online. There were threats. There were almost physical altercations. And now, because we want to justify that there's a quota, we want to say, oh, one of these players can replace the player. I can't.
In other words,
I can't buy that.
So in other words, there's no quota.
No, I am saying to you, if there is a quota in the senior men's team, I want you to justify it. And your argument so far has not justified it. Because I can go back to a string of games where we had King and we had Shaquan. And there were a couple that in that time, the Mario Phillips was in it. They were the only local players. And then at some point, Whisper came in. Yeah. So I will say to you, right. I will say to you, from my perspective, I don't see where there's a quota system applied to our senior men's national team. That is my opinion. I agree with you, though, that these players, while people have dealt with them harshly, I believe, on social media, if they are playing well, they should be included. I think Trevante Stewart, brilliant goal save his team, done well this season, and good move that he made to go where he's at and stuff. Good player, playing well, and let's see, he's in the 60-man Gold Cup squad as well. So it's not like the coach, because if the coach did not know the players, not watch the players, would he then include them in his Gold Cup squad? What would be his reason for including them in a squad if he doesn't know them? So obviously, he has them in the squad.
I don't know if the coach knows them. I would hope that he knows them. I am hoping that he's on it. I don't know that he knows it. Because a lot of time when they ask him in the press conference about players, he just seemed dumbfounded and oblivious. But I'm just saying, I hope that he knows. That's all I can say on that, man.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, man, I hear you.
But thank you for your time, man. We'll talk another time.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for
all right. You're welcome, sir. Yeah. All right. CC, you're calling call back. Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Yeah,
is this Gatwick or Heathrow Airport?
No, this is This is
You know,
Ian Fleming. What's going on, sir?
Where's that? Ian Fleming. There, man is man. Man is man. I like they get when I watch it Unity Cup the other
Hold on.
day.
Let me just say this. People, you know what they call who just type this in bold. Let me just sorry, Cece. Sorry to interrupt you. Right,
No,
man.
do your thing.
I don't know if you joined the show late, sir, but I gave the caller, and anybody can comment on this. I gave the caller uninterrupted time. That was my first response, sir. All right. The caller had to go. The caller was free to respond, but I had allowed them to speak uninterrupted for 10 minutes. So go ahead. All right, go ahead. Cece, sorry about that.
Yeah. So no, I was saying I like the way in which the Jamaica team played, especially in the Unity Cup. I think even from the Cuba game, you could see what the coach wanted to do. A lot of people didn't have patience with the coach, but typical Jamaican fans, I mean, every minute is like fire this person, fire this person, fire this person. It's like a motto. No, like if they don't like something, fire the person. You understand? But you know them change like what do I call it? One is man, country people call it away. I sit more weather. Something there, weather man. Dry weather fans or something of the sort. Because from the Cuba game you could see the style or you see how the coach wants to play. And I think when we went to the Unity Cup and facing a Trinidad team that had much changes to the Trinidad team that played in Jamaica, we would have done well against that team. They carried in a bunch of persons as well as
somebody said even, that they said they call them fair weather fans. That's what I mean.
Yes, fair weather fans.
And
that's what they are.
Oh, fair weather fans. And Corey yes. Said, you call them green lizard.
I mean, I don't know about the green lizard, but as I said, no man is man. If the first game the coach come coach, get him out here. We don't want him. Dinosaur, all kind of nonsense. So I'm like, the coach doesn't even have a time to get his feet wet. And all of a sudden, everybody want the coach out. You understand? So, for me, sometimes every time I'm patient with a lot of things because as we see the games, they come thick and fast now, and there's much more enthusiasm towards even the coach and playing style because even when we played in the Unity Cup, even though we concede 4 goals, because yes, we score 5 goals, but I mean, we fix one problem. I think we're fixing a problem where we're not really scoring plenty of goals. I don't remember the last time we have a 2-game series like that. We end up scoring like 5 goals over 2 games. So, I mean, but we concede 4 goals over the 2 games as well. So I think we can work on the defensive side of it. But for me, the players that have come in, and I think the complement of players that I see in the squad right now, I'm comfortable with it because at the end of the day, I think the coach is making solid decisions in terms of who he wants to come in the squad and who to complement who. And some of the squad, you have to look at it as a continuity. He brings in new players, but he doesn't bring in wholesale changes management. For example, Tyrese Campbell is coming in this squad, right? But Roman Burl is also coming in the World Cup qualifying squad. But he would have played in the Unity Cup squad. So the only debutant would have been Tyrese Campbell if he gets to play in the World Cup qualifying campaign. So even though there are players coming into the squad, there are still players that have been in the squad. Players like players that have already played several games under the coach before. So it's not like just 6, because I think there are 7 new players that was on the provisional list, and I don't see all 7 of them coming in the squad at the same time, management. Because I don't see where Gennaro Johnson, Tyrese are. Those are, by the way, people, these are players that are listed on the provisional squad list, because I know a lot of people, when you call players' name, them up in arms and say, keep the players' names out of your mouth. So I'm only referring to players that I've seen on the Jamaica provisional list. So like players like Louis Baker, Tyrese, Gennaro Johnson, I think Dimitri Mitchell, you don't see any of those players as. And I think the last time we see Jamaica, when we brought in players, we had brought in at least 6 different players at the same time. So I think I like the approach. I'm not sure if it's because documentation purposes or what. But the phased approach where players are coming in and you see that they are gelling with the complement of players that are there already. But my question is, man, I want to ask you is, I asked the coach this with regards to, I think he answered it, the Mothersill thing, because I think he's basically saying Mothersill is on vacation, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he was saying at the time it was.
That is what he alluded to at the press conference. But having the coach, every window so far, this coach has come, he has brought in player now. They realize from Isaac Hayden to
but I think
Mason,
I like
Holgate.
Mason Holgate,
yeah. So he has brought in players for the windows that he has had, and I think it is something that is going. And like I said, at the end of the day, here's my position: there is always going to be people crying out for people, and at the end of the day, if the coach picked Junior Fleming, they would have been a next name. If the coach picked Norman Campbell, they would have been a next name. You know, if some people, all kind of names. You understand me? It's just how it is. It's just football. What we can't do is make blanket statement when obviously there are so many different opinions. What are the opinions? See, like some people say Alvas Powell, some people say no Alvas Powell. Some people say Junior Fleming, some say let them stay. You understand me? Some people say busy, some people say no. Some people, listen, remember, and one person have to, let me give some credit to Cranky on this, because Cranky was very hard on Richard King. He has almost come 180 degree, right? There are people who still believe that Richard King is not supposed to be in the team because there are other players who are better than him. And they may be right. But one thing I've learned, and I'm going to use the captain of the national team because he has said this publicly. He always said this. If you listen to him when he does interview, here's what he said. He said, you don't need the best players. You need the right player. I'm going to give you 2 examples of this. Though it is the club level. Do you know that PSG, the three strikers that started in the Champions League for PSG, value less than 3 of the strikers at Manchester United? All right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. So watch this. So he says you don't need the best players, you need the right players. You need the right players because until you are around teams, until you're at training sessions, it's going to be very hard to understand coach's decision. So what we oftentimes see is the ending of days of probable observation in camps in terms of behavior, people's ability to follow instruction, people's just general approach, sometimes off the field. Have people ever considered that there may be other factors that a coach has to determine in selecting a team? And so that becomes an issue. That's one thing to look at. Right? Well, there's a thing on it, but there's a comparison. Jason, hold on, CC. Jason Gona with 3 players from PSG versus 3 players from Manchester United, and the 3 players from Manchester United were way more expensive than the 3 players at PSG. All right? I didn't give any figure. You can do the calculation. You can go and check. But if you want, I can send you the Instagram feed that I saw, and then you can check it. All right? Bam. Watch this now. So at Philadelphia struggled last year because they had MLS star-like players. A new coach comes in, and almost all of those players are gone. They have a younger group of players, and those players are doing better at the club. The point is this, CC. Even good players sometimes don't make a team because they are not the best choice for the team. And that may not have to do with their ability on the ball, it may include other factors. And so it is very foolhardy for us to believe that coaches only make decisions based on how a player deals with the ball on the field or runs. Could we just stop for a moment and say, what are the other factors that influence a coach's selection? There could be other factors. And we act like that the only thing is what happens on the field. It's not the only thing. But you go ahead with your point, CC.
Yeah. Well, no, but man, as I said before, for me, the conversations are going to be had about players not being selected and who is selected, because that is just probably content. But for me, I'm contented with the team that is selected right now in terms of what is available. Because if we should really evaluate and say, who would we pick over who would we pick? Like, we don't know if some people were by the way, we don't know if some people were even contacted and people just say, oh, at this point in time I have something else to deal with. So therefore I have to opt out of this one. Right? And if you should come out and say, oh, you know, I call management, but management opt out, you know, people are gonna say, oh, management turn on your car. Because I'm sure people would have been contacted. Because when a coach pick up a team, he must have in mind, if he pick management, do I have somebody else to call if management is not available to come? He must have that in mind in the management.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people consider that, you know. So when the coach select two players, if the coach probably call the next player and the player says they're not available right now, the coach have to contact somebody else. So maybe the person name of them call, all right. For example, let's just say, I'm not using in name as they. But just say just take Mothersill per se. The youth go up on vacation, I think. Obviously, based on how the coach was answering the question today, had he not been going on vacation, the coach probably would have selected him. But then is a new player just go come in at the team, just go come to international football, and this is possibly one of the last time I'm gonna have vacation when can go take it without having international football plus domestic football to contend with. So how does the coach balance that now? Okay, no problem. We'll take a look at you come the Gold Cup or come another time around, right? But a person, somebody gonna say, why I'm not in our side and this I'm not in our side? But the coach have to make a decision. If you can't force somebody if you're trying to balance the situation as to, oh, you're trying to select someone and your choice is you're not being able to select the first. But then there's somebody else. So at no point in time, there's only 23 players that a coach will be selected. A coach have in mind probably 46 players. Yeah, so he have in mind a replacement player for a player in the event that player is not available. But I don't think people take that into account. Say the player that you see get selected might be the player that is available at the point in time. But more often than not, the coach would want to select the very best players that he thinks can suit his style and can get him the results. Because
I'm thinking like, come on, like, why would a coach select players like that he doesn't want to be in his team, knowing that if the team fails, he loses the job? Like, logically, if we sit down, I am a coach. It's not like I am indispensable in my role. If I have series of losses, I can lose my job. That's the nature of the business. So why would I then select players that cannot get the job done to help me to keep the job that I want? Just stop for a moment and think about that. Which coach is going to select players that cannot get the job done to try and keep the job that he wants?
Exactly. That can make no sense, management. As I said before, we can always say, oh, I think this player would be an upgrade and that player. But when it comes down to it, the coach has to make a decision in a split second. We say, oh, if I call a player and a player says he's not available at this point in time, what do I do? What do I ostracize that player, or do I just go to the next man up? That's what the coach is doing. So I think a lot of times a player might not be there for other reasons other than the coach not wanting to select that player. Obviously, the coach might have wanted to. I remember the coach said this in our press conference. Some of the players that he would have liked to select in the Unity Cup management weren't going to be available given their club commitments at the end of the season. So our man would come out now and cuss and I say, how can I squad this guy Unity Cup? Because I heard that too, management. I heard that on the radio, man. I say, oh, he would have. I saw, oh, come certain man down the Unity Cup and I'm like, did this person listen when the coach is saying that he would have liked to select certain players, but because they had commitment up to the end of the season? For example, Tyrese Campbell is coming in the team now. Tyrese Campbell played a championship qualifier game for Charlton, which they qualified for the championship. Right? The playoff game, sorry, for League One playoff, but they qualified for the championship. Right on the weekend, which was I think about the 25th, or round about there. Right? How is it that now you think the coach would say, oh, could I select the player to come and play next week when he's just coming from this? Or would the player need a little bit of break? Those things people don't take into consideration because they don't understand that footballers are human beings as well. And they need rest as well, just like the rest of us. But for me, management, I'm okay with the team that I've seen selected. And all I can do is trust in the coach. And I would love to see the defensive issues for me to be fixed up a little bit more. For example, I think the midfielders at some point in time, they're not tracking back as quickly as possible to recover position. When we are moving from the attacking phase to the defensive phase, I don't think sometimes we transition smoothly. I think sometimes, I'm not point out no player, but in terms of the midfielders to get back to assist the defensive unit in terms of making proper zonal marking, making sure that certain balls are being cut out and pushing players towards away from the goal side. I don't think some of that we were doing that well, and I think that led to us conceding 4 goals at the Unity Cup. But overall, I think attacking wise, we have figured some things out, and for me, it can only continue. And the phasing of players into the squad, and I think other players, based on how the coach is talking, other players is going to come into the squad. But also, people have to bear in mind that if certain players are not available, then it's the next man up, and that's how we are going to try and come together. Fans, coach, players, everybody, in terms of qualifying for the World Cup. But that may have to say, man.
I big up yourself, CC.
We can't pick me 11. We can't pick me 11 for Saturday.
For Saturday? Yeah, all right, pick your 11 now.
All right, so I have Andre Blake in goal. I have Damian Lowe and Richard King in playing the centre back. I have Bell playing left back. I have Lati Bodier playing right back. That are 4 on the back. So
who are the 2 centre halves?
Damian Lowe and Richard King.
Okay.
And then we have Bell and Lati Bodier, right back and left back. In the middle of the part now, this is where things get dicey. For me, I'm going with John Russell, Isaac Aiden, and Demary Gray. So that's my midfield right there.
So you're not starting Casey and you're not starting Ravel?
No, I'm not starting Casey and I'm not starting Ravel.
Okay, all right.
Because I'm not going to tell you why when we get the left. I'm just going to say why in the last part.
Yeah.
Up front now, I say Cephas, Leon Bailey, and Rumar and Borrell.
Okay.
I'm going to start.
All right.
So for me, the reason why I'm not start Ravel yet is because the way in which I see Cephas played over the 2 games, and I think if I was the coach, I would want to look at him coming in the World Cup qualifier. I don't know how I would drop him coming off the back of those performances to the bench. And them are great for me based on his, even when he plays, even the last game that he played for us in St. Vincent.
Hey, CC, me only have 5 minutes. You name your squad, and I get a couple of cards.
So for me, yeah, man. So that's my 11.
All right, big up yourself. Yeah, man. All right. So that was CC. We have 5 minutes. We'll take a couple of calls. And then one umbrella.
Well, management.
I am here. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. I just compliment you on your job where you do for your country and your football,
Yeah, man, big up yourself, man. And big ups to you too.
Yeah.
Maybe I met some ladies that they said you purchased one umbrella purchased your ticket for the game. 6 of them.
Yeah, you see, management, those are the things we do, we not just talk. Cause so from 19, and when my mother must have born about 19 party, and from she born and dead, talk as well for the same, which is what? Cheap. So we have to put in some action to help and so we can do, anything we can do to help with football.
Yeah, but what me gonna ask if you do is that why when the man them say them no want to talk to you, you always a call them back. Cause me hear a man send me a clip where Ryan is saying that don't call back him phone and thing and stuff.
I got to clarify that it's a great misunderstanding. I don't really want to focus on the negative. I just want to focus on the positive. But there was a misunderstanding and I put the card in front of us and assumed something that I was wrong about. So basically, me did a call Ryan to apologize because, all right. So since you mentioned, let me talk about.
So you apologize already?
Well, through a letter, I apologize.
Okay, all right. So cool enough. If you don't want really get into it, you don't have to,
All right, so I go by the moniker Mr. United at one point, right? So somebody had made a fake moniker, and I use it, and I said things where people are interpreted as for me, right? So what happened now? Ryan told me that it was somebody close to me that did it, and he know it's who, but really and truly he never called a name. But at that point, I was close to fatal player, right? So I assumed it was fatal player, and I told fatal player that Ryan told me, which was the truth. So I can say that as a man. So that's where that misunderstanding came.
So
it's like me and you have hang out.
All right, but you have to be careful with them things, that dangerous thing that
which is true.
Yeah, cause same thing. Remember, say me and you have a little thing in England too, and we have to do a tree. You remember, you understand me? We have to do a 3-way call. And you understand me? And because you are trying to get something done or figured out. So you try use smart. You understand me? You try because you want to get it done. But at the same time, you bring things into disrepute. Because if I had not done the 3-way, me I want to tell the 2 and I would not be talking about me. I tell her that,
But from the 3-way, the 2-way, you can see what's talking the truth, right? Remember, you see that was talking the truth.
Yo, because conversation, but the confused, but we kind of figure out. All I know is that I was glad that I was. You understand me? But yeah, just make sure that you have a very influential role that you play. So you have to. You're doing something good, and don't let your good be evil spoken of. That's what the Bible says. You have to be.
So since all right, so I am a combative person by nature, right? So if you and sometimes I act on impulse, So if them say something about me, sometimes I react without even thinking.
Yeah.
But if I go to my bed and think about it, then I wake up. Because me a man management, there's some respectfully some people who are here, me a man who are daily. There's things that I would do yesterday that I'm not gonna do tomorrow. That's why you say, if you notice yesterday, my back to the Jamaica, I provide the phone fire service. At the game, I got about 360 thing there where girls, people can go but take free picture. So I can't tell the kind of mind when I have, but sometimes it will stretch me on the ground too much and argue with some people I shouldn't argue with. And I don't know, that is a struggle when I have to try. Because, if man remember November one umbrella start, November, right? And there are people who in this YouTube sphere or football sphere for 10 years, right? And them not even close to when needed. I don't know. Maybe probably banned from, I don't know.
Yeah. But one thing I'll say though is that some things that we do today, though we grow tomorrow, the things are already done. And many of them cannot be undone. So while we can be impulsive, we have our emotional IQ has to elevate because the more we excel in life, it is the higher the standard and the expectation that people have of us. And so,
let me tell you,
because what I'll say is that our brand will go as far as our character goes. And anytime our character begins to fail, our brand begins to fail. So we can't push the brand further than our character. because in tough times it is the character that keeps the brand. So my advice to you is just be in those moments when you don't want to be impulsive, just better you say nothing that say something that could hurt people or cause regret. And that is, and I'll leave it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, but when we talk about it, there's the guy, like you see this thing where people said the younger people, them younger player, them don't want to play for Jamaica. Like look at Tyrese Campbell for an example, right?
Yeah.
At 21-year-old, him committing future to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But listen, yeah. And there are other people. Listen, let me just say my position. If a player is born in England, it's not an easy decision to say, just come and represent Jamaica. I personally do not have a problem if a player wants to delay, like change of association. I personally don't have a problem with it. I don't believe it necessarily speaks to a lack of commitment. However, I believe that they put themselves at risk of not being selected by a coach, right? And so I would prefer if every player who can at least gets their documentation, because your documentation doesn't stop you from playing for either nation. What you don't do is the change of association, because you can have your passport and then when you're ready, if you so decide, then all you have to do is to have the change of association. That is how I'd advise it. But I think we have to understand that a 17-year-old with the opportunity of going to one of the big clubs, he wants England on his profile, because that is going to increase his marketability. Now, Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup. He wants to put Jamaica on it because it may not matter. You understand me? So that is how I see it. Yeah.
So, man, as I say, every man have them week. And my week that sometimes man just have to be a little bit more diplomatic. For me feel too much. And me don't know, management sometimes tell me, sometimes but why that management, if like how you highlight the good that I did in London, or the style they will have their card good that I did for one time. So management respectfully, if a systematic just to try to like stop me. Right.
You're breaking up a little bit. Okay, I hear you now. Yeah.
I said there's a systematic thing to try and stop me, As management, remember, me change the game in the management. Right? And me just come November, me start one umbrella. And respectfully, as far as supporters, group and people that contribute to Jamaica football, I think I'm leading. And guess what? I'm leading with my daughter and an advisor and my sister. Only 4 of us, and then we have other people on the outside. And we are leading other people. We have lawyers, doctors, all kind of people in them. Right? And management, okay, so Saturday I call you, right? And I want the tune to play. I call you Friday and I tell you I want the tune to play in England, right? And you know we're playing at England by Saturday.
Yeah.
Because management, I know how to network and I know how to get things done. And but sometimes management, these guys, sometimes them just say things about me and me say bad things to them. But I will never tell you what they said about me, but they will show the world. Because to be honest, management, a person got the job at the federation, the first day on the job, they were agreed with my name that they shouldn't work with me.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The one man just management, I don't know, the one man just he's just creative, he's just innovative, and through them can't outwork me or outdo me and make, what I mean? Like the first time a Jamaica game, you got about 360, where woman can come up and take them picture for free.
So I'm to demand them.
Anybody, but more than likely, that woman, right? You gotta have something like that. You understand me? So, but at the same time, most of them live in Jamaica, and I haven't been to
listen,
Jamaica.
our next, sorry to cut you, but our next caller, and I really wanted to end in 2 hours, and it's past 2 hours. So please give me the opportunity to just take this last call, and then we can pick up tomorrow. All right, one umbrella.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for taking my call.
you're welcome, man.
Anytime,
All right,
okay.
blessing. All right. All right. So that was one umbrella. Let me just state this one from Alvin Palmer. I believe the person is he has been calling, and then we will close up the show. Comment section and not go and fight. You know, go and fight, you know.
Yeah, man, how you doing?
I am doing fine. Alvin, how you doing? Good afternoon. You know that the massage therapist, the main one, his name is Alvin as well.
Good name, that man. Shout out to the third. Well, I go by Pinsky though, but you went government, so either one work, you know.
Okay. Oh.
No, yeah, I know you're wrapping up shortly. Just one call out though in the Nigeria game of the Unity Cup.
Yeah.
I like Lembakisa a lot, but I don't know. I feel like we were being. I feel like that area is a little bit vulnerable, as they were overloading that side.
Yeah.
And every time the ball went over on the right wing, you know, I got nervous in the game. So in your opinion, you know, you were closer to the game. So what you saw, and you know, if you had
listen, all right, so
in mind that we could resolve that area.
All I'm saying is that scouting, if you have been watching the Jamaican team, the side of the field that we have struggled defensively is right. And I don't think it is because we have poor individual defenders.
No, because I do like that.
I think it is because of how we defend as a team sometimes. And teams scout you. So team will scout you and they know that Amari Bell and Ethan Pinnock are going to be on the left-hand side. You understand me? So that is probably going to be a little bit more difficult to get through to. Who is on the right side? Anybody on the right side, center back on the right back, that's probably the area we need to do our scouting report on, so we can kind of take advantage of the weaknesses with the Jamaica. But I do believe we have good individual behavior, defenders. But so I think Nigeria came to attack Jamaica down that side. Like they saw that as an area. And unfortunately, it was very difficult for Dexter at the beginning of the game. I think he got into his own. And I think the coaches, because both teams had like persons sending information to the bench from stats and all of those things. You know, we saw the Nigerian doing it and showing stuff, and we had the same thing. So once you do that, then you make adjustments, and the adjustment, no player like to be substituted at halftime. So I know it must have been very difficult for him, especially like in England, where this is the first time you play before your family. To be pulled out at halftime must be difficult. But I also believe that it was good for him, because I think they were targeting him on that side. And then Kahim was coming back to help defensively as well. So, yeah. So that is my take on it.
I was wondering if the winger, like going forward, you know, because it is what it is. We're trying to solidify and, you know, trying to make us as solid as possible. So I'm not pointing out any players, or you know, so I'm just putting a disclaimer out there. But in that sense, I feel that the right winger, I know Kaim, but maybe probably needed to do a little bit more work on the defensive side to help out Dexter, because we were definitely exposed. And I feel like even at halftime, I don't know. I feel like we got even more vulnerable with the other guy that came on. I think it was Ming. So you know, going forward for the World Cup qualifiers and the Gold Cup coming up, I would like as much as possible come up with some kind of scheme, because you know, teams are going to, like you said, you alluded to, that they're going to scout us, and that is an area that they're going to look to, you know.
I also believe, let me tell you one of the things that I think I did this on a video that I did. I also believe that we need a player in the middle of the field whose primary skill set is to be like a ball winner, a tackler, a person who hustles. I think we have a midfield littered with skillful on the ball players who can score goals and push up, but they can maintain control, pass very well. But in terms of ball winning and that aggressive, like Thomas Partey in midfield, Moise Caicedo in midfield, Rodri in midfield. I don't, Gravenberch, I think is a Liverpool guy. I don't know if we have that personality type in the present grouping of midfielders that we have. And I'm wondering if we had someone like that,
it would look a little bit different.
Yeah, if that would help, like with covering on the right side, like
right. But wouldn't that be the role of what's his name now, Isaac?
But what I'm saying though, Isaac is I believe like he's one of the better midfielders we have. But that has never been a position. He's more like a 8 or the second one in a 2 central, but he is the one who does the work with the ball, not like the dirty work.
Right.
Kind of, and I think that is what we need to find. That's my idea.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I'm excited about the 2 games coming up, especially off. I would say a successful showing in the UK. So yeah, let's and just I heard some of your callers. The coach is a coach. He has all the ins and outs. Yeah, we love. There's no perfect team in my opinion. We pick a 23, we pick a 26. Everyone cannot be in the 26. Some people are always going to have some kind of why is this player? Why is that player not in the squad? So yeah, the coach squad.
Yeah, like
so
somebody, somebody just said
full support of the team. Yeah.
Sorry, somebody just said somebody like Anthony Grant.
Oh, DePaul is a good team from Argentina.
Right. And then somebody just said like Anthony Grant, he was older, but when he came in, you remember that time he really did that. Then we had this guy named Jamie Lawrence. Remember, we were struggling because we had a midfield that had like Hector Wright and we had Andy Williams and the team had to go and get Peter Cargill when we qualified for the World Cup. I think people forgot that Peter Cargill actually came into that midfield and was instrumental in that campaign. And if you just look throughout,
successful teams.
Yes, there is
the Macareles of the world.
Yes, the Patrick Vieira. Like there is always this steel, even at Manchester United in their glory days. Was it Paul Scholes who was that person? So Beckham had liberty, and so it made once you have that person, I think it makes the kind of protection that they provide for your back four makes them automatically defend better as a unit.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, but you may or may not be able to expound or provide, but within your capacity. What about Lewis Baker? How you feel like he could help the squad upon completion of situation?
I don't know what
if you can.
I don't know what the completion of situation you speak to, but what I can say, better players will always make a better team.
Okay.
And
primarily, what position he plays? The 6 or the 8?
He's more an 8, but persons have said he can play that role. I have never seen him play like a ball-winning kind of
role.
Hustler.
Okay, so
midfielder. So I think he may be better than the ones that we have doing it. But I don't like in highly competitive game when you have the Casemiro in his prime kind of person in midfield.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, or that Atletico Madrid team that had those guys in it's something that is there. It's just like what's his name? Gattuso had who in midfield.
Gattuso. Yeah, from right.
Yeah, from Italy. He made Pirlo look so good. Because he was you understand me? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Or even what's that French player?
Conte.
Conte, right?
There you
exactly. Go. Makes Pogba look good, right? So I understand the concept. But all right. Let's see. Because now we just really have a 1-6, and I mean maybe we if we need to interchange, Lati is always there, even though I like to see Lati more in the
right back. Some people believe that he's the best right back, left back we have.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to try him some more at the right back. to be honest. Since, we see him, just to give us a different look to see how that would work. Because Lembo, I really do. I like Lembo. Really good player. But something needs to be figured out over there, All right, but anyway, I look forward. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome, sir.
We'll connect again soon.
Yeah, man. Have a good evening. All right.
Likewise, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. So, people, there we go. I did promise myself that I would stop at 2 hours, and it is gone. But it was worth it. 15 minutes extra to facilitate it. All right. We don't have 100 likes, but we have lots of views. It would be good if you hit the like button. That's all I ask. Right? Yeah, my Knicks in trouble. My Knicks is out of the playoff, right? So hit the like button, and if you have not yet subscribed, you may not agree with all my views, but we are civil about it. So you can subscribe to the platform. And those are you. I don't know why you do it. I don't have subscriber mode, so I don't know why you subscribe to comment. You probably think it's and then you unsubscribe. Why do you do that? You need to behave yourself. Grow up and stop being so trivial. Come on. All right? But big up on yourself. I'm sure. What's up with the female coach, McLaren coach for the stands? But the coach. Rob Smith. I thought it was Peso who said this, and then I look at us and it was your name, because I said, how can Peso come up with something so genius? But it is Rob Smith. Rob, they asked Marino, right, Rob? So they asked Marino, they said, Marino, Coach Marino, how do you pick 11? He said, all right, here's what I do. I get a coin and I flip it up. The player drops on, that player plays. And then during the week, I stay home. I go to parties. Rob Smith, I have no answer to your statement. But what I can tell you, that I am management. This is I Am Sure Sports. It was an absolute pleasure being with you all today. Have yourself a fantastic rest of the evening. Be respectful. Keep the space healthy and strong. Robust discussions with solutions. All right. Be civil in your discourse. All right. But I want you to have a fantastic rest of the evening until we meet again. I am management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And when it comes to the end of our show, we say we are over and we are out of here.
Watch about dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherrius, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.